Hey guys, it's that guy with the picks. Yesterday didn't go exactly how I expected it to. Um, Alabama played the first quarter. Georgia played the first quarter. It looked like Georgia the first quarter. And I think they went to the bus and they brought some other people onto the field to play the rest of the game because Georgia got their ass beat for the next three quarters. They gave up 24 points in the second quarter. That was more than triple the point output that they give up per game each game this year. No justification, none of that stuff. Georgia got their ass beat. Period. So we took the loss there. And yesterday I released a college basketball game, which was Oral Roberts minus the points against Houston Baptist, and they won and covered. So they salvaged the day, and we went 1-1. 1-1 is sure a hell of a lot better than losing. And today, we all know what today is. Today's my specialty, NFL. We've been on fire in the NFL. We're going to continue to be on fire in the NFL. We've had a great year up to this point in the NFL. The game that I'm looking at today is Jacksonville at 2-9, traveling to the Rams at 7-4. The line opened up at 12. It sits at 13. The total sits at 48. Now, both these teams come into this game losing three in a row. The Rams haven't covered a spread since week 6 versus the Giants. Jacksonville has lost all their road games this year. At this stage, honestly, Jacksonville isn't even trying to win games. They're actually doing the opposite. They're not trying to lose games, but they're trying to lose games. And the reason for that is to get higher draft picks. And if you're a GM of this team, obviously the smart route to go is let's not win no more games and let's get a higher draft pick because the season's over. Season was over a long time ago for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence. They talked about this guy being a guy that comes around maybe once every 25 or 30 years. And I tell you what, he has had a below average year as a starting quarterback. It's hard for any starting quarterback to come in the NFL and take the first snap of the year and just play all year. I give him complete kudos for that. Will Trevor Lawrence be a beast in the future? Absolutely. As soon as they're able to put some pieces around him, Trevor Lawrence will be able to do what Trevor Lawrence does. He is a special athlete. It's just this year, no. He looks terrible this year because of what's around him. He's only completing 58% of his passes. He has thrown for 2,370 yards and 9 touchdowns, but he has 10 interceptions. Yeah. Marvin Jones, and Chenault have combined for 970 yards and 3 touchdowns, and James Robinson has 650 yards and 7 touchdowns. Jacksonville on the year, they're allowing 26 points a game, and they're giving up 360 yards of offense a game. Stafford leads the Rams with 3,320 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. This is still his best year in his career, and it is going to get better the rest of the year. He has 9 interceptions. 5 of those picks, they've come in the last 3 weeks. He was putting up like Madden football, EA Sports type numbers, Stafford is, and I expect him to get back to that quickly. Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson, they've combined for 1,820 yards, 14 touchdowns. Kupp is the number 1 receiver in the NFL. I'm talking like that for football fantasy. He is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I'm lucky enough to have him on one of my teams. And that team has won 6 in a row. We're going to finish up today at 7 in a row and going into the playoffs on fire. We'll get back to what we're really here for. Henderson's ran for 650 yards and 5 touchdowns. It doesn't look like Henderson will be suiting up today. It looks like he will be sitting. It looks like Sonny Michel is going to be taking the ball, which I'm okay with. Sonny Michel is more than capable of doing what needs to be done. Rams give up 23 points a game, which is kind of, not even kind of, it's surprising to me. I would think that number would be closer to 20 rather than closer to 25. The defense did beef up in trade transaction. They did bring on NFL Defensive Player of the Year Von Miller, and Von Miller will cause chaos for opposing teams the rest of the year. There's no doubt. He's a freak. And they also brought on OBJ, and what a great time to bring him on. You know, unfortunately, I had Robert Woods in actually in the same fantasy team that I was talking about, and he went down for the year. In the same week he went down for the year, somehow they were lucky enough to bring in OBJ, which made an impact last week. And I see him this past week having another week to practice with this offense and get things more down. OBJ is still a very, very good wide receiver, and he can be at the level that he's supposed to be at on this Rams team. I also think it helps with him knowing that he's coming to a team, and he's not the best wide receiver on the team. This ain't Cleveland. I mean, him and Kupp aren't even close, and I think that's helpful for him, just to know that the pressure's not on him and he can do what needs to be done. That's my opinion. The Rams, they're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 overall, which is bad. OBJ is questionable, but it does look like he is going to suit up and play today. And James Robinson is questionable, but looks like he is going to suit up and play also. Millie, who you saying? Jacksonville or Rams? Okay. All right, so truthfully, I've stayed away almost every week when big spreads are out there. And luckily, I've been able to dodge bullets that way too, because normally the team getting double-digit points, they're covering. This week, I do not see that. I don't see that happening. Rams have struggled, there's no doubt. They have struggled bad the past couple of weeks. While Stafford has dealt with some injuries, trying to get back to where he needs to be. Like I said, losing Woods hurt. I think this past week is going to pay a lot of dividends, the week in practice and what went on in practice for this team as a whole on both sides of the ball. And I see the Rams putting it all together in this game in a perfect spot to have Jacksonville being a punching bag for them and to get back on track in a big, big way. The pick today is take the Rams minus 13 in a big cover at home. Guys, I just want to thank you for the love, support, comments, subscriptions, the shares. Just please continue to do it, and I will continue to bring you winners at a high percentage. And until then, you already know what we're going to do, guys. We're going to get back to getting this cash.